Ah, if only there was some type of grappler as just a big stupid idiot. That's been like every video recently. I need something that breaks from the mold. Everyone that I've covered is weak and I need something new. What the?
My loyal fans! Hey, hey!
任務を遂行する。終わりだ。
When it comes to grapplers, they tend to be the big guy or the slow guy with different things to really separate them. But in today's video, we're going to go to a grappler that wasn't all that big, but certainly had multiple things that separated her from the rest of the cast. This video is actually a triple first in the series, and that's we're covering our first female grappler of the series. We're covering the first female grappler basically ever made. We're covering our first broken grappler ever made. Don't get me wrong, we've covered strong grapplers, but this one was broken, and I mean broken as in bannable. What's up, fellas? How we doing? Patriarch Panda here, and as you can tell, I've got a hoodie on. It's starting to get colder, it's starting to get more chilly. I'm feeling it. Just want to say thank you so much for showing all that love to the Solomon Grundy video. We will be continuing to work on this series as always. Try to update it in any way that we can. I want to set up a new milestone. 5,000 subscribers and we'll do Zangief. You guys voted it. And I feel like that's what we should do for the milestone. Zangief is one of the biggest names when it comes to grappling, and he deserves some type of special love. I'll be covering an interesting version of him, as I don't want to cover the main thing that started grapplers, because I think it's kind of boring. So I'll find something that separates him from the usual version of Geef, so I'm looking forward to doing that video for sure. And let me remind you of what a grappler wants to do before we talk about the game of the day. Grappler tends to be big and slow with really bad neutral, but makes up for it with having very strong offensive pressure, usually with some of the best offensive pressure in the game. However, getting to that point is usually awful, and having a ton of bad matchups that tends to make the grappler. But once you're in, goddamn are you in. Now let's get into the game of today. In the name of the moon, I will punish you. Sailor Moon S. Sailor Moon S is a fighting game that was released in 1994, making this the first all-female cast fighting game. This game is loosely based on the show to do with Sailor Moon and has some of your favourite characters from Sailor Moon. I've never seen Sailor Moon, so you're gonna have to forgive me if I don't have all the knowledge, right? I'm going off of what I'm reading, so if I say something that's just incorrect, I apologize. The game was developed by Arc System Works, which is kinda crazy, you know, if we keep going back to the older games, that they're still pretty bullshit. Also, this game had easy inputs back in the day. There was a setting that you could do if you hold both your triggers when you pick your character, the inputs become easier to perform. Modern controls has always been a thing, and it's just a government cover-up. Talking about the game's mechanics, let's get into it. There's not a lot on the screen, but there's a ton of mechanics going on in the background. It's the usual 1v1 2D fighter with the normal health and round system, except there are hidden mechanics. Every Sailor character has their own unique passive to their toolkit. Moon has a dash jump, and this has some invul sometimes off of backdash. It's kind of crazy. And Chibi has a double jump, and the character we're talking about broke the game with her unique passive ability, but we'll get into that. Every character has a backdash that has a ton of iframes. We're talking like maybe 15 to 20. It was ridiculous. Chibi with TAS inputs could actually link her backdashes, making it impossible to hit her. It's that type of game. And no one had forward dashes in this game. Not a single character, not one. Don't skip ahead. Don't hit that timer. I see it. Don't use the chapter system like you should. I see you. I'm gonna hold that bar. Pack that in. You wait. In this game, throw beats jump, so you had to use iframes to avoid throw, and a lot of characters had iframe opportunities. The game had guard cancels to do specials on block, so that was crazy for the DP characters. And the game had supers, but you could only do them if you get to low health. After that, you get infinite supers, which is insane for some characters. You just gotta keep letting it rip. That was it for the game. During 1994, there wasn't really a ton of games that had insane mechanics at this point. Some maybe had a meter system, and that is as far as it went. But now that we know the game of today, let's talk about the grappler of today. Most broken grappler ever. Greatest planet power. Makeup. Sailor Uranus. Sailor Uranus is one of the main members of the cast. She's also one of the older and more supportive types of the series. She stands tall and more of a stoic warrior type vibe, kinda like Kiryu but a bit more flirty. In her off time she's a race car driver and pretty good one too. She has superhuman powers, trained in sword and hand-to-hand combat, and can manipulate the air. She's an airbender, that's crazy. That's about it for her story and powers. There's a whole lot more, but I recommend watching the series if you care enough about that, whereas that's as far as I'm going. Let's get through the Grappler's weaknesses, right? Like, basically we always need to get through this part, that way we can actually note down like what the character had to deal with, so their strengths got this shine. So for Sailor Uranus, being a fast character either meant she was super squishy, or maybe she had a lack of damage. Who knows? Let's take a read. Remember that skit at the start? This is why I'm in shock. It doesn't have anything on here. Her only weakness is that she is banned from tournaments. Yes, she was that strong. The fact that her only weakness is that she's controversial due to being banned is insane. Again, there's not a single weakness. I mean, I don't ever write for these videos, but I do scripts, right? Like, if I did this, you're seeing, it doesn't say any weaknesses. You're seeing it right here, there's nothing. Like, how does a grappler have so much strength? Well, dear viewer, she was given a gift, something else that none of the other characters had, that made her truly terrifying and ridiculous, with so many multiple layers that you wouldn't even think about. It will shake you to your core. So she was the only character with a forward dash, and as you see, it goes pretty far. Is that the only reason? We've seen ridiculous movement in fighting games before. Hammerfall's a disgusting tool. We've never talked about wanting to ban that. The forward dash could get there in 15 frames, meaning in a quarter of a second, she's able to hop from one side of the screen to another. She also had a command grab that did 33% damage, which is pretty nifty, but because of the forward dash, it meant that she could do this off of the forward dash. You wouldn't be able to react, and with the knockdown afterwards, she could chase for the Oki. This forward dash was crazy because her command grab came out in like 0 frames, 1 frame. You got grabbed off of a 16 frame dash. That's terrifying. At least it doesn't get any crazier from here, right? Oh! Okay, so she can dash cancel it. So that means some attacks go from being +2 to like +16. So that means on block strings, there's probably some situations where you have to mash out in a gap or she's gonna keep resetting it, right?
And then just like dash back immediately.
Oh, it's actually a true block string. If she does heavy kick into heavy kick, which is a 12 frame that's +15, it's an infinite on block. You have to hold that, and she's also a strike throw character. And if she hit you, she got a combo, and if you blocked, you were stuck in a block string, and she could threaten a throw during all that. Okay, that's pretty ridiculous, but you know, it's a grappler with an insane forward dash, so neutral isn't difficult, and an insane forward dash and offense, so offense isn't that difficult. And the opponent had to use guard cancels because it was a true block string. Okay, that's ridiculous. But, you know, at least she has to do crazy damage, right? 33% off of a throat. That's pretty good. You know, maybe the strike's like, oh, it's an infinite. Oh, okay. Right, it escalates. It's escalating. Oh, God, we're snowballing. She wins a game off of any hit. Okay, welcome to Infinite Town. Land a heavy kick. GG's. That's ridiculous. This is getting to the point where, I see the arguments of her being bannable, but she does have a win the game situation, right? When she is knocked down, she could do forward dash to get iframes to threaten strike throw and be a projectile poke or anything. So if you knocked her down, it was 50-50 for your life. I think this happened due to a bug with the coding where it feels like the game sees that the wake up is happening and counts it as a wake up option, as in she's still in knockdown. So the forward dash gains the iframes of the knockdown, which is insane because you just gave her a 15 frame invulnerable dash that approaches for a guaranteed 50-50, and if the opponent threw a fireball, she got infinited into death, and if the opponent was blocking, she got 50-50'd into strike throw against a grappler that gets Oki off of throw. This forward dash is the whole reason that she is strong. The main reason why this character is banned and not allowed to be played is because of the forward dash. It's just the forward dash alone that makes her ridiculous. This also confirms something, which is Arxis have never designed a grappler after this that has a forward dash. I could be wrong, you guys could prove me wrong, but like, from the big ones that I know, this could be the reason why. Isn't this insane? On the wiki, it just says all of her normals are broken because of the dash. They say the normals are bad or okay or mid, but because of dash they're broken. That's what it said. You can't talk about her neutral because she doesn't have one because of the dash. You can't even analyze her kit because of the glaring forward dash that stares at you and tells you, hey, you want an easy hub. Let's get into her kit despite the fact that there's not really a ton to get into. The normals were decent and her dash cancels made all of them broken. The command grab is the main reason why she was banned due to coming out in one frame, dealing 33%. And her heavy kick was plus 15 with the dash cancel, and it came out 13 frames and acted for 12. Which means that she could link it, like I was talking about earlier, where it's an infinite, it doesn't stop. There's nothing you could do because of this bug, because like you may be able to push her off with a guard cancel, but then she does wake up iframe into 50-50 and it was GG's. It even says here that her fireball is a bad special move. This is an ass special, but because of the forward dash, it's an infinite on hit, and on block it's a 50-50. Because of forward dash. There's not a lot to talk about. Guard cancel dash, wake up dash, or dash, and then into strike throw. That was your entire game plan with this character. That's all you had to do. Free throws will kill, and if you land a strike, it will kill. That is all reward, no risk. This video is a whole lot shorter than every other grappler video just due to this glaring strength, and I feel like it's worth talking about because not a lot of people know about the Sailor Moon game. They know of the game and its absurdities, but they don't know about the most broken grappler ever, being the first female grappler ever. She does what the guys couldn't do, which is break the meta. And this is the part where I'd normally go like, oh, who were the people that made her work? Everybody, apparently. So yeah, I'm not doing them on Dutch this time around. And second off, you couldn't play her in tournament, so you wouldn't see her in tournament. There's one tournament I was able to find where she's playable, but I have no idea why, because everyone was playing her from what I was seeing in the VOD. Everybody was playing Sailor Uranus. I think it's cool that the first female grappler is broken, because if the men couldn't do it, the women will. Costume change, and I basically forgot to mention there is some type of gameplay that I can show you, but it's nothing high level. Far from it actually. It's actually more cute if anything. When looking for the gameplay for this game, I actually found a channel, fairly small, that is basically doing a thing where a child and his father fight each other for every day on a different fighting game. It's supposed to be a casual thing, and I saw this, I thought this was the cutest thing ever, and I wish there was more fighting game content like this. But it's more supposed to be like a documented thing where it's like a father being able to look back at memories type of thing. I just thought this was worth noting. I thought it was so adorable. I'm gonna let the previous Panda take it from here. Sailor Uranus had a cool concept for a grappler. One with good movement compared to all the big, slow, big bodies that we know. Has insanely good movement, able to get in and out in a matter of seconds. It's well done. It's insanely well done for an idea, a concept. But in practice, the way Arxis did it made it absolutely insane and ridiculous. And that is why this character is remembered for being broken and not having an interesting design. And it was all because of the bug. I felt like if you took away the bug, she's still like the best character in the game because she still has dash cancel infinites, right? But she doesn't have a knockdown into win the game, right? She has a knockdown into like, I need to try to get in again. And I feel like if you take away that bug, there might be a genuine world where Uranus would be playable in tournaments. There may be debates about banning her, but I don't think people would outright ban her. You'll never see her unless you want to see the true nature of this game. Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept to cover for our first grappler. Frankly, the first one being a female one, did speedy and all that. It's very cool, different from the big fellas. But it's such a sad note that she was basically a banned character because of all this. But I just want to say, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Try and get to 5k subs, that way we'll do the Zangief video. I'm looking forward to that one. I've already got the production ideas in mind. We just need to get to that point. So please, help out a poor Panda. Be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the Kofi and membership system as it helps support me fund a lot of my trips and my videos. But be sure to tell me who I'm covering next. I would love to hear your suggestions as always. Again, I saw one to do with Aqua Plaza. You guys suggested a whole lot of King, which I thought was interesting because I feel like you guys were talking to me as if I have no idea who King is. And if you look at the channel and a lot of the art and the videos that I've done, I'm a King fanboy. I haven't approached it because I don't know how to go about it yet. I don't know how to go about it with my favourite characters. That's why I've not done one with Potemkin or King or Armor King. The best way to put it, the more love I have for a Grappler, the harder it is for me to cover. And Tezlock being the first Grappler deep dive that I did is a genuine shock to me because I just threw it out there. As someone who loved Tezlock, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And because of that Tezlock video, I'm scared to do the other ones. That's my genuine thought process. I'm being honest with you. And fellas, that'll be the end of today's video, and I'll catch you next time. And I hope you guys enjoy going to the Grappler Church. See ya!